What's up, Jennifer?
Hi there. How's it going, Dr. John?
I am having the time of my life. How about you?
Awesome. Today is a pretty good day, thanks.
That's fantastic. So what's up?
Yeah, so my main question is, how do I handle the toxicity of blended family dynamics?
Oh, geez.
And-
Run.
And still,
Run.
and still be a good stepmom and a good wife and a good mom to my own kid?
Whew, tell me about that. Tell me more.
Yeah, so my husband and I, this is both of our second marriages, and we've been married together for 8 years, together for about 10 years total.
Okay.
And it's my stepkids' their mother is usually the situation that causes the most tension.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been divorced, I think, like going on 13 years. And so I'm just like, I find myself wondering if it will ever go away. And
what are things that she's doing?
Yeah, so it just seems like, sometimes there will be cordial moments and just low key.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like a bomb goes off and it gets very thorny. And
What's a bomb?
so like a lot of the messages that we hear through the kids is like, don't tell dad this, or like if something comes up and they feel like they've slipped up and told us something that we aren't supposed to know. Mm-hmm. So it just seems very sneaky.
You'll never fix that.
I know, but it's like, and that's another thing is that I didn't know what I was getting into being in a step family and being a stepmom, but having somebody that like I really hardly know, but they impact our life on a daily basis, like so dramatically.
Yeah.
And so
that's the sucky thing that you signed up for. And again,
right?
I know you didn't. I know you didn't know what you were signing up for, but like it's like a timeshare. Like it's yours and it's yours forever, right? And it sounded like a good idea, but here we are. And so I think the things you can manage on your end are, having like, and this is going to sound so cheesy, but I want you to see what I'm building here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How old are these kids that are coming and going?
Yeah, so they're teenagers, a 14-year-old and a 16-year-old.
Okay, boy or girl?
Both.
Do you have a good relationship with them?
Yeah, mm-hmm.
Okay.
We have a solid relationship.
I want you to begin, if you haven't already, I want you to begin, just you if possible, alternating weeks by taking each one of them out to breakfast or dinner by themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to get a nice leather-bound journal, and I want you to look both of them in the eye and say, this is the cheesiest, lamest thing, but I want you to do this for me. And I want you to write a few sentences every night and put it on their bed, and their job is they have to write back and put it on your bed. But I want it to be things like, I just need you, if you didn't hear it today from anybody, I think you're an amazing kid. And find specific things that I want you to catch them doing great or working hard, or the language is with little kids. I want to catch you being good instead of pointing out all the negative things. And the world of a 14 and 16-year-old is everyone on the planet telling them where to sit, how to dress, what to do. I can't believe you did that. And that's their peers, that's their teachers, that's their coaches. And what you're doing is you're planting seeds, you're creating a soil that says this house will always be safe. And as you begin to build relational trust, and this is, you've got it, they trust you, they like you. We're talking about depth of soil here.
Mm-hmm.
It is, start a practice called What's One Secret? Or you and your husband begin talking about how we don't keep secrets. Secrets will kill you.
Yeah.
And we're not going to solve that now. What you're doing is you're playing a game for when they're 25. You're not playing a game at all. You're building soil because life is going to hit them in the face. You know this. And so we want them to know that when that does, you are a safe person to call.
Yeah. And I guess that is what my husband and I, like, again, it's for 10, 15, 20 years down the road.
That's right.
But it is like the daily things when things come up and the kid is stuck in the middle.
Yeah.
And like, she's impeding on our time. And if we say no, then the kid suffers, you know? But
give me an
if
example.
we
I don't
say
understand.
no, well, like for an example, a couple of weekends ago, it was our weekend with them. We have them 50% of the time. So
Sure.
it's coming and going throughout the week, and then set weekends. It was our weekend, and then their mom had plans to go to a movie. And so she texts the 16-year-old and is like, oh, see if you can sneak away and come to the movie with us.
Mm.
And we're like, we don't, like, if we say no, then she gets left out of going to a movie.
Yeah, but she gets to see that mom and dad have boundaries.
Yeah.
And she gets to see mom and dad mean what she says. And by the way, she's 16. And so being 16 and getting a text from anybody else, much less your mom, and saying, hey, sneak away and do this thing, that's going to be the most appealing thing in the world.
Yeah.
And so you're not going for being liked here. You're going for being loved and respected here. I got boundaries. And this is your time here at our home. And I think there's language like, this home doesn't work without you here.
Mm-hmm.
And not that your kid is propping you and your husband up, but that the whole family works together. And there's just a suck factor to it. How lame that another adult is using a 16-year-old to prop up her own emotions. That's the worst.
I know.
And you can't do anything about it. Unless your husband wants to take her back to court. Say, quit doing that.
Yeah.
I mean,
no,
y'all
that is a no.
Yeah, y'all aren't going to do that. And so it's an emotional immaturity, and it just is what it is. But what you're hoping is that when your daughter reaches the age of 21, because right now she's gonna be like, you're keeping me from my mom. I'm 16. I got my own car. I can do whatever I want. You'd let me go to the movies with my friends, but you just won't let me go to the movies with her. That kind of stuff. And she'll probably start sneaking away to go do it, right? And I think there's something about holding a boundary line.
Okay.
And also, here's the other side of that. If she sneaks away to go be with her mom at the movie theater, I mean, what are you going to do? You going to ground her?
Right.
You know what I mean?
No. Yeah, and I don't know that she would. I think she's also kind of the type of kid who would just tell us,
Right.
But I just don't like that they're in the middle.
They shouldn't be. And there's nothing you can do about it because they have another adult on the other side shoving them in the middle.
Yeah.
The thing you can do right now is be heartbroken for them and then go be as stable and as secure and as Becky Kennedy says, as sturdy as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, it's going to intensify. When they turn 17, 18, mom's going to slip them drinks. Mom's going to have parties over at the house that y'all won't have. Mom's going to talk about going to Stanford when y'all can afford the, whatever, like North Dakota State. And there's going to be all these wars.
Yeah.
And I think it's important for dad especially, but for both of you to say, we are not going to war with your mom. We're just giving you the reality of our situation here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it does seem, on our end, from our perspective, it does seem like things are like manipulated or planned out. Like that house is very clearly the more lenient house, the more fun house, the more yes. And so it does just get so hard.
It does. And so you're going to have to risk being unliked for you're just not going to be liked. I mean, like what? Like you're just not going to be liked. And it makes me sad for you. Because in a perfect world, co-parenting adults would both act like adults and they would come up, for the sake of the kids, they would come up with some consistent values. Part of me thinks if parents could do that, they wouldn't have got divorced in the first place. But for the sake of the kids, knowing that the toggle back and forth, but it's very, very common that one parent is so insecure and wants to be the cool parent or the I told you so parent or the I want my kids to like me so desperately parent that I'm going to risk their safety. I'm going to risk their boundaries. I'm going to risk their emotional security because they're having to toggle between two homes. It's lame and it's awful, but it is. It happens all the time. And so you have to cash out. And this is for all parents of teenagers. We're going to go through 1 year, 2 year, 4 years. We're going to go through a long period of time where you don't like me. And I'm okay with that because I love you. My job is to keep you safe. And my job is to teach you boundaries and what safety and security and stability looks like. And then when a kid turns 21 or 24 or 26, they begin to go, oh, okay. And is that unfortunate? Yes. Do you miss out on some laughter and some joy and some shut doors like, you're the worst? Yes. And I hate it, but it is. And so here's the important thing for you, Jennifer. The more energy you spend on wishing it wasn't like this, the more energy you're giving away to energy that could be used being present, going for walks, being silly, writing notes, going to meet, having meals, having individual things. Because here's what we're doing with that kid. We want our kid's nervous system to downregulate when they're in our presence, not upregulate. And if a parent is sneaking away, texting a kid going, hey, I know the court ordered this, but see if you could sneak away from your stupid stepmom and your dumb dad and come hang out with me because I'm awesome and cool. The kid's heart rate is going to increase. It's gonna activate them. And what we want is our kids to walk in the door and know of all the chaos of social media and of the drama that is being a high school kid and the future college and the impending doom of the world, like, as all the media sources are selling. And my mom, all this, we want them to come home and know that this is home base. And I have to be willing to risk my kid not liking me, but their nervous system knowing I'm finally home. So Jennifer, I would, maybe you write an imaginary letter that God help you never send it to stepmom, to their birth mother, and just say, I wish you weren't doing this, but I'm letting this go. I'm not giving you any more real estate in my head. And when your kids come home and say, I'm, you can tell them, hey, we don't keep secrets here. We don't keep secrets here. We're never going to get mad at your mom because she just does what she does, but we don't keep secrets here. We love you. And you're always, always welcome here. Thanks for the call, man. Sorry you're in a pickle. It just makes me sad on behalf of the kids that there are just certain adults that are hell-bent on acting like children. Thanks for hanging in there, Jen.